How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Kind of a similar question. Tanner McKee's obviously very different from Bo Nix, and their plays kind of are slower to develop than Oregon's. Does that make it easier as a defense?
I don't know necessarily easier. It's just a different style. It's a different way you're going to play, different things you got to do to attack that style of offense. I think you just got to kind of turn the page and realize we're not playing Oregon, we're playing Stanford, and so you're going to have to attack each team differently. And so we're looking forward to getting after Stanford and utilizing our strengths against theirs. And obviously they're a very well-coached team. They got good players and they got smart guys. They go to Stanford, you know what I mean? So they do their job well, and we just got to do our job better.
Speaking of smart guys, we talked about the books and ball thing. You guys, are top 10, top 12 team, and obviously very good academically too. So in a way, are you kind of like out-Stanfording Stanford?
As far as like academics,
well, football, putting everything together.
Yeah, obviously books and ball are huge here at UCLA. UCLA, #1 public school in the world, so it's extremely demanding on the academic side, as well as the athletic side. UCLA champions made here. Obviously, that's the thing that they harp on, and so we want to be elite. Everything we do, that's something Martin Jarman preaches and stands by, and I stand by as well. I want to be elite, and the guys out here on this team that we're surrounded with want to be elite in the things they do. So we take that into consideration in anything we do. Coach K always says, how you do the small things is how you do all things. So just taking pride in everything that you do, whether that's being the best reader in your classroom, or if that's being the best guy in the weight room, or being the person to hold the door for somebody at the hotel. Just taking pride in all those things. I think that's that makes somebody great is not allowing yourself to slack in one part of your life. If you want to be great, you got to be great in all things.
How valuable of an asset is a guy like Deshaun Foster to the program and the culture you guys have here?
Yeah, Coach Foster's awesome. He's always been a very uplifting guy, a guy who helps you to kind of develop yourself as a player and as a person. He's there to kind of be obviously he played here, he's a legend here, and so he knows how the game goes, and he knows how UCLA is in and out, and he's somebody that we rely on heavily as players here. And obviously he's developed extreme talent at the running back position, but his influence goes far past just the running backs. I think he does a great job of getting guys to keep their heads straight and uplifting us when we're doing things right, and making sure we do the correcting things we've done wrong.
You talked about playing against smarter guys like at Stanford. When you're on the field, do you see a difference when you're playing against, let's say, a team from a university that has high academics? Is there a difference among those opponents?
Yeah, I think to play at the elite level, you got to be a smart guy as far as a football player, and I would argue if you can get somebody who's academically gifted, and obviously they have to have the talent physically, but if you combine those two things, that makes a formidable opponent, and that makes a good football player. So when you go against a team like Stanford, you go against a team like UCLA, a lot of schools, these are really good schools. SC is also a good school, to be honest with you. And the guys that go to those schools are just smart players. They understand the fundamentals of the game, and they understand how to play the game right. They understand where they're supposed to be. So you're not going to beat a guy because he's doing the wrong thing. You got to beat a guy because you're doing the right thing, and you beat him with your understanding of the game, your preparation, and your execution.
Coach said that he said it was all three levels against Oregon defensively that had problems, but he said they're correctable. What are the corrections that you guys can make to overcome them?
I think just playing well as a unit, as a group. We got to play together. We got to have, Mo talked about better communication, something we've been harping on, hustling, running the ball, and just playing football the right way. I think there was some times, obviously, that you can't pin it on one player, one person, one group. Guys made great plays, and guys had plays that they wish they could have done better. And that's going to happen in every game, and that's going to happen especially in losses, that you're going to look back and and think, man, I wish I could have done that better. But I guess that's the good thing about football is that you're able to correct those things. One game doesn't define you, and so allowing yourself to realize the strengths that you have and the things you need to improve and work on that every single day, and taking pride in those things, and not letting yourself hang your head down and think it's all over because you can come out and correct those things again. That's what we're trying to do out here, and I think that's the mindset we're carrying into this week.
And Mo mentioned it, that 24-hour rule, and I asked Jake about it yesterday. He mentioned that there's, a fine line between taking the negatives and applying them as lessons going forward versus dwelling on it and seeing a negative carryover.
Yeah.
How hard is that to separate the two?
Yeah, I think that's a very tough thing as a football player. That's the thing that separates guys who have one loss determine their season or have one bad play kind of take them out of the game. You got to be have very short-term memory in football, but you also have to be able to remember those plays. So yeah, that dichotomy of kind of flushing the last play, but then remembering, hey, that's what I did wrong. I got to correct on this next play. I need to do this technique. So working to get to the point where you can play fast, but you can also remember what you're doing. Early on in my career, Coach Pelham did a great job with that, as far as shaping my mindset, just helping me I would come off the field and he would make me kind of reiterate every single thing that happened in that play, and being able to visualize what's happening, and that helps you to in the moment realize, hey, I got to get in this gap, this thing happened, I'm doing this. When I come out the next play, they might try and do this, and so I'm going to try and correct that. But yeah, working with that's the tough thing in football, but that's what you're always trying to improve.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.